Welcome to the Little Art House Studios. This is how to draw a face. So first of all, you need to start off with an egg-like shape. It's kind of like a squash circle with the pointy bit at the end. You want to divide that in two. That's really important because you need to have the right proportions for your face. You need to make sure you have enough room for your brain and for the functions. The brain being at the top and the functions are your eyes, nose and mouth at the bottom. Then you divide that bottom half again into half and that bottom half again into half. So when you're doing a face, when you're doing the eyes, you want to do the letters N-O. Eyes always say no. No! N-O. And you want to make sure that there is a gap between the eyes that's about the same size as the eyes. Otherwise, they look a bit too far apart. They might look a bit weird if they're not on the same line. So make sure they're on that halfway line and there's a gap about the same size as an eye between them. Now, then you want to start thinking about the nose. Now the nose, make sure you have two nostrils. I've seen a lot of people draw noses with just one nostril and then they just think they have to draw holes on them like that. And then it kind of looks like a pair of boobs. No, we don't want that. So make sure you've got two nostrils. You can use the letter L and W. L, W. And for doing the mouth, you want to go what? Imagine you just tasted something really, really good and then your friend told you it's made out of cockroaches. So, what? And you want to draw that just above that bottom line to give you enough room for a chin. So, what? Your ears are just the letter C, that's it, and they go just below your eyes. You know that because people wear glasses. And then your hair, you can kind of do anything you like with the hair. Blah, 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 blah. The eyebrows are very important because they show you emotion. So think about your eyebrows, think about the angles you want your eyebrows to be in before you draw them. Think about what kind of emotion you want to convey. They are the most important thing when it comes to expressing the feeling, the mood of the picture. And if you want to do a cartoon, you use a nice thick black line and you go over everything and you've got your lovely face. Make sure if you're doing a cartoon, you try and use the magic white dot. It's a magic white dot that must be in the same position on the face. You see I've just done them not in the same position, they look a bit weird. It must be in the same position on each eye and it just makes the character look a little bit alive. So if you're not wanting to do that much of a cartoon, you can do a different kind of cartoon or a more realistic drawing by using lighter, thinner lines and then shading things in. So remember using the N and the O, and I'm using those initial lines that I had as guidelines, and if I was doing this with a pencil I would erase them. Obviously I'm doing it on the computer. If you want to do a nose, you do 3 circles, 1 small circle, 1 big circle, 1 small circle. Ooh. And then you really just need to erase the top part of the guidelines, shade it in, and there's your nose. Now some people like the 3 circle technique because it helps them with the directional shading. I'm not such a big fan, I prefer the what technique. And then you can start thinking about shading things in. Now the way to really make things look like they're 3D is to give it shadow, to have highlights and lowlights, to have dark and light, to have that contrast between the dark and the light. Taking away my guidelines now, you can see I'm just adding in little bits of detail. With a face, the more detail you add, especially if it's just shadows, tends to make them look a little bit older. So if you want them to look younger, less detail. And make sure that you've got a full range of tones. I like to give my students a grade from 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Make sure that they have every single one of those tones to make your picture look 3D. I'll talk about that more in another video. So there's my initial guidelines, and then the sketch I've done on top. Guidelines, cartoon, and there you can see my final image. Alright, thanks for tuning in guys. Keep following us for more videos. Bye!